You can listen to this practice wherever you find yourself today. You can be sitting down or laying down, or even stretching and doing things if that's what you got to do. And hopefully wherever you are at when you listen, this will still be helpful to you in some way. And so if you would like to listen in a still position, you can feel free to just take all the time that you need to arrive there and allow yourself to fidget and adjust and stretch and move in whatever ways your body wants to move, as you just do your best to not think about the movements at all and just let your body move you in the ways that intuitively feel good in your bones and muscles and joints. Not worrying at all about what your movements look like, but coming fully into your sense of feeling and following these yummy sensations that you might feel when you do some neck rolls or shoulder rolls, side body bends, torso twists, even just rolling out the wrists, opening and closing the hands, just anything at all, any intuitive movement that your body wants to take, allowing yourself to explore what feels good, explore your range of motion. And if at any time what your body is asking for is stillness, then honoring that need for stillness whenever that feels like what you need. And so there is no rush whatsoever. You can continue to move even throughout this practice whenever you feel the need to. But at any point, if you haven't already, you can make your way to that still position if that's how you'd like to listen today. And just checking in that your spine is nice and straight in whatever position you've chosen. And if you're in a space where you feel safe and would like to, you can allow the eyes to gently close at any time if they aren't already. As you take a moment now to mark your arrival into your practice today and into your body today with a full, intentional, cleansing breath. As you call in fresh new air into the body and watch yourself as you fill up to every corner and edge of you, as you hold that for a moment at the top, once you're full, and experience this sense of fullness. And as you need to, slowly letting it all go. As you exhale bit by bit, and you gently pull the navel toward the spine at the bottom of your exhale to really push that last bit of stagnant air out of you. As you again pause for a moment here to now experience this sense of emptiness, allowing your next breath to come to you as it's needed. And you can breathe just like this for as many rounds as feels good and helpful to you. Not worrying about the length of your inhales and exhales and pauses on either side, but just allowing each of the 4 parts of your breath to be exaggerated, whatever that means for you right now. When the body naturally would stop inhaling, seeing if you can expand your ribs, expand your belly just a little bit more to take in one more moment's worth of air. And as you are full, staying in that fullness for one extra moment than you might normally. And then as you roll over to the exhale, even once you think you're empty, seeing if you can push out one more bit of air to truly empty yourself as you pause once again to now experience this emptiness in the body. and allowing the next breath to come as it's needed. And you can continue to breathe in this slow and exaggerated way for as long as it feels good for you. And at any point, if you haven't already, you may release this guidance over your breath altogether. As you allow yourself to step into that role of the observer or the witness. As you remind yourself that our breath is the one bodily function that can be either voluntary or automatic. And so letting go of that voluntary guidance we just had over the breath, as you now simply observe the automatic process that is your body breathing you, just as it does when you're in a deep state of sleep, just as your heart beats every moment of your life, without any of your direction, without any of your doing. Just a process that happens within you and for you to keep you alive. And so seeing if even just for a moment you can witness your gentle breath coming and going the same way that you would witness waves as they roll up along the shoreline. Watching each wave as it comes and goes. Not trying to change anything about the size or speed of the waves, but simply watching as each one comes and then goes. As you let some awareness come now to your face, and even with the eyes closed, just noticing any resting expression that is on the face. Noticing any emotions that could be communicated by this resting expression on the face. Maybe the brow is tense, or the jaw could be holding some extra tension. The nostrils could be flared, or even the chin and ears could be holding some lingering tension. And then just allowing your awareness of these areas of tightening and holding be all that you need to instead allow these areas to soften. Maybe even opening and closing the mouth a few times before finding that place where your jaw just hangs into place. Allowing your tongue to release from the roof of the mouth as the lips rest softly on one another. As you let this sense of softness and release in your mouth, naturally allow your chin to soften a bit further, your nostrils to release a bit more, naturally feeling the release spread outward and upward as the cheeks soften a bit deeper. The ears, the eyelids, all of those tiny muscles that scrunch up when you squint, even feeling those soften as the corners of your eyes get a tiny bit wider just with this release, just with this unraveling of tension. As you even allow your eyeballs to rest in their sockets, as you allow your gaze to be soft wherever it is you are looking, whether that be at the world outside of you or at the world inside of you. Maybe even the eyes peer up into the forehead as you feel the eyebrows soften even more. And your hairline softens back, so you feel the full width and depth of your forehead. And maybe even seeing in your mind's eye a depiction of all of the muscles that exist in your face. Every single tiny muscle that has created every expression you've ever made, resting beneath the skin of your face. And seeing these muscles ungrip now from the bones, allowing the muscles of your face to release back into the support of your skin. As you remember that you can trust your own anatomy. And when you let go of any extra tension in the face, your skin holds everything intact. Your body holds you exactly as you need to be held. And there is absolutely nothing that you need to be or should be doing right now. This is not a doing or a thinking process, but rather one of listening and feeling, one of witnessing, receiving, stepping into a more curious perspective as you notice any expectations that pop up of how you think you should be feeling or how you would like to be feeling. And instead becoming curious of how you already are doing. And allowing yourself to sit with yourself exactly as you are. Maybe there is a lot of pain and sorrow present within the body or within the mind and the heart. And sitting with those darker things as well. Remembering that this practice or any healing practice is not about ignoring the bad things in life or shoving love and light on top of everything or trying to escape bad feelings. But this practice and all healing practices are about showing up exactly as you are, even the bad parts, the darker and heavier and sad parts of life are just as much a part of life as all of the good things we feel. And we are not meant to escape all bad things and only feel good for the rest of time. We as humans are simply meant to live the human experience, to experience our own unique human experience, to take in what our world presents to us and respond in the ways that align with how we want to respond. And to learn from what our initial responses are, to what our reactions are. We can learn so much about ourselves through our feelings, through how we react to situations and people in our lives. And we can learn to see obstacles and conflict as opportunities to deepen your self-knowledge and to expand your awareness just a little bit more. And so just take a moment now to re-soften the face if any tension is crept back in. As you now allow that same sense of letting go and release in the muscles of the face to naturally continue to spread and trickle down the whole scalp and down the back and sides of the neck. As you feel the shoulders become a little bit heavier. And you feel the full weight of your arms. Allowing for the natural curve of your fingers as your hands soften even more. And feeling all of the muscles across your abdomen to soften, to expand, to rest on the organs, almost hugging the organs. And with each gentle breath your body takes, as your belly expands just slightly with each inhale, that hug gets a little tighter between the organs and the muscles that protect them. Reminding your body, reminding your muscles that it is safe for you to be soft right now. You do not need to hold yourself in any particular way. But when you soften your body, you are held right where you need to be. As you feel your pelvic floor lengthen and widen into your seat. And feeling your glutes release a little bit more. As all the muscles down the legs almost roll off of the bones. As you feel a sense of release in your feet and toes as well, as you allow your entire body to be exactly as it is. Witnessing your body exactly as it is right now. Noticing how you can feel your own heartbeat in your chest. And you can feel this same heartbeat in your toes. Feeling this same heartbeat in your fingertips. And the heartbeat at the crown of your head. And every inch in between. Your heart is physically connected to every inch of your body through pathways of veins and vessels. Your heart pumps life into every inch of you. The heartbeat that exists in your chest exists everywhere else within you as well. And your heart is your own personal and direct line of connection to whatever source or force allows all of our hearts to beat, whatever you believe that to be. You are directly connected to the source that all energy comes from, because you are energy. You are life. You are alive. And so you will always be connected to the source that all life comes from. And there's absolutely nothing that you can say or do that will take away that connection. It is a gift that comes included in all of our lives. And so you do not need to earn any more love from the world outside of you, because you have access to that infinite supply of love within your own body. And so you do not need to do things for more love from the outside. And you can instead do things from the love that you already have within you. From all of that love you have access to. And we will not feel this connection all of the time, nor are we meant to. But our connection to ourselves, to spirit, to whatever it is you believe in, it waxes and wanes just like the moon. And just like the moon, at times we will be full. We will be totally illuminated by the sun, which represents our soul and that spark within us that animates our body. At times we will be full and bright and whole and capable of shining light for others in the darkness. And other times we will be more like a new moon, where we will be in the darkness ourselves. And we won't reflect any light. And we're almost hiding in the shadows, but still there. And then there are all of the phases in between both extremes, between the new moon and the full moon. And the moon isn't meant to be full all of the time either. The moon is simply meant to move through its phases. And there's nothing wrong with the moon when it's in the shadows. And there is nothing wrong with you when you are in the shadows, when you are in a phase, or when you are in a darker phase of life. It just means that you're alive and that you're human and that you are a part of nature. And you will move through the seasons just like everything else in nature. Just like the trees, when they shed their leaves and then grow buds and bloom once again. Just like flowers, just like everything. And we can make the difficult seasons of our lives so much more bearable when we can accept them, when we can release that extra layer of resistance to them. Sometimes that heaviest, thickest layer of our suffering is all of those voices saying, I don't want to feel this way, or why do I feel this way, or I want to be feeling anything other than what I'm feeling. All of those distractions and numbing things that we do to avoid what is. But if we can notice when we are avoiding what is, it is a great opportunity for us to challenge that. And instead, look directly at it. Sit fully with it. Allow yourself to cry, to scream, to punch a pillow, to jump around, to run around, to do whatever it is your body needs to do to release these emotions, to move through these emotions. Because every single storm runs out of rain. And even when it feels like it's going to rain forever, and it has been raining forever, we know that will never be true. The only truth is that everything changes, especially how we feel. And so you can let yourself ride out the waves of change that you are in right now. Reminding yourself that we cannot stop waves from crashing. And if you just imagine what it would be like to try to stop a wave from crashing, if there's a big wave coming toward you and you stand up in front of it, put your hands up and say, no, do not crash down. What will happen is that wave will crash into your face, knock you over backwards, and you'll hit your head on the ocean floor and get spun around a bunch of times. And so if we don't try to stop the waves from crashing, we have the opportunity to see it coming, to turn around, and to ride with it. Or in some situations, we have the opportunity to see the wave coming and dive under it and skip this one. But with the awareness, we have the opportunity to make the choice that best serves us in the moment. That is the best for our health and well-being, which will always be what is best for everyone in our circle. Because doing what is best for you will give others the permission to do what is best for them as well, which will ultimately be what is best for the world. And so, no matter what you are moving through in your life right now, no matter what difficult situation you face, no matter what giant wave is crashing, you can take comfort in the knowledge of how much you've already accomplished, of how much you've already survived, how many difficult things you've already experienced that you are now on the other side of. How many goals you've already set and achieved. Bringing it back to the most basic. There was a time where all of us had a goal to crawl, and we did that. We had a goal to walk, and we learned to walk. We learned to speak. We've learned so many things from the time between when we were born up to this moment. And we will continue to learn so many things. And all we can do is whatever we can, whatever is in our control, and be patient. Be so kind and patient to yourself along your journeys of change, through these difficult seasons that we live through. You do not need to make them any more difficult for yourself by being hard on yourself or by beating yourself up for things that are out of your control ultimately. And another analogy that I find comforting when I'm in the middle of a lot of pain and sorrow and suffering, difficult seasons, goes back to every storm runs out of rain. And with the knowledge that every storm runs out of rain, you can imagine that when we analyze our storms, when we overanalyze or maybe overthink about why this bad thing is happening, why I'm feeling bad, why bad things happen ever, it's almost like when we're outside in a storm and the rain clouds are trying to pass over you and you're just staring up, looking directly at the rain, it's hitting you in the eyes and you're running alongside it. And the clouds are trying to pass over, but you're running along with the storm, therefore making it last longer. And feeling the storm or allowing yourself to fully be in those uncomfortable emotions and to cry and to release and to just experience and feel is the equivalent of just having a seat in the storm and no longer running along with it, but having a seat and feeling the rain on your skin, letting it wash over you. And before you know it, the clouds will have parted. The storm will have passed. And the sun will always shine again. And even in the thickest of storms, the sun is still shining behind the clouds. It is still there. And so are you. Even when there's so many clouds around you or within you, even when you feel so deep in darkness, you are still shining. You still are there, just like the sun. Even if it's beneath many, many layers of pain and suffering. The essence of you will always be here. And there's nothing that you can do that will change that. At times we will be further away from it than other times, but it will always be there. You will always be here. And anyone that you've ever loved will always be here as well. Love is eternal. The connections that we make in life to other souls, whether they be animals or people or whatever, it is always with you. And we can almost time travel through our memories of this love. We can call in the love of our loved ones, whether they are still here or past, through the power of memories. And maybe just taking a moment now to bring to mind, or to remember a time when you have hugged someone or an animal that you've loved dearly. And just that moment in the hug where you exhale and allow yourself to be loved. You allow yourself to be held and safe and supported. And just awakening that same sense with the earth that is beneath you and with gravity hugging you all around. The hug of your skin against your muscles and bones. Just letting yourself be hugged, be held, and be loved. As the fact of your existence is the proof of all of the love that is within you and around you. You would not be here today without all of this love. So you can continue to feel whatever is here for you to feel. Continue to soften your body into whatever it is you're feeling. As you listen to the following words that are written by young Pueblo in his book called The Way Forward. And you can allow anything at all that feels like it resonates with you to soak in deeper and not worrying about the rest. Embracing change is one of the most understated ways to improve your life. A lot of the mental tension we experience comes from rejecting change. The common pattern is to lament that something pleasurable has ended, or to roll in mental tension when something you dislike is occurring. Teaching your mind to ponder more about the reality of change will release some of the shock that comes when things actually do change in your life. Understanding that change is inevitable will help you recognize that everything has a time limit, which ultimately encourages you to be more present when you are doing things that bring you joy or when you're around the ones you love. Too often, we get caught up in our imagination, creating heavy narratives about the past or craving something in the future, altogether missing the beautiful moment that is right in front of us. Every moment has potential, and that potential is defined by how we arrive into it. Our minds have the power to turn a moment that might easily have been forgotten into something awe-inspiring and positively life-changing. Embracing change not only brings more joy into your life and enhances your resilience during tough moments, but also is the key to happiness and wisdom. Being attached to sameness dulls the vibrancy of life. Everyone who is healing their old trauma and learning to live beyond the past is part of the solution. Happiness is not perfection, control, or determined by external events and people. Happiness is a product of your perception and inner balance. When you define your own energy, you bring your harmony with you wherever you go. Let yourself disappoint people, especially if you need to take care of your mind, or because your intuition is telling you that what they want does not align with who you are becoming. Betraying yourself is not virtuous. Remember, no one can feel your heart better than you can. Being able to see yourself as you are moving through your own emotional spectrum is an essential quality to cultivate. Knowing the difference between who you are when you are balanced versus who you are when your mood is low can help you endure difficult moments without making them any harder. When you are in a tense mood, question the assessments and judgments you are making. You know from past experience that heavy emotions negatively color your view. This is not the time to make big decisions. Your perception is never perfect. It is influenced by your emotions, or you may be missing some further information that would clarify what you are seeing. And understanding this supports your humility. Perception becomes clearer when your mind is balanced and when it tries to develop an assessment as selflessly as possible. Those with deep inner peace understand that there is rarely a need to create a rigid judgment, that what are most needed are love and care. And finally, don't punish yourself or think badly of yourself. Remember, storms are temporary. Try to do kind things for others. Make changes to your daily routine. Figure out which old habit is slowing you down. Do what you need to balance your mind and realign with your peace. And you need your own definition of happiness, one that reconnects you with the beauty of where you are now, and does not postpone your joy until you accomplish something in the future. One that is centered on embracing and not striving. So just take the next few moments now to just allow each and every word that you've heard today, each and every feeling that you've felt today, to settle. As if every word and feeling was a little snowflake a little speck in a snow globe, and now is the time where you let the snow settle and let the air clear. And just trusting that anything at all that you heard today that resonated with you or struck a chord with you in some way, just trusting that that feeling can sometimes come when we hear on the outside what a part of ourselves already knows to be true on the inside. And so you can allow these truths to be enhanced within you so that you feel a little bit more confidence to act on your own intuition. And now, if it feels like something you would like to do today, you can bring your attention to that sense of a heartbeat in both of your hands as you allow the heartbeat of your hands to find each other, as your hands come to a prayer position toward heart center. And you feel this contact of your palms and fingertips to one another as you press your thumbs toward your heart, as your heart lifts back toward your thumbs. As you tune in once again to this rhythm of your own life, your own heartbeat, the steady background beat to every moment of your life. And now calling in fresh, new air into the body as you fill up to every corner and edge of you, the most you have today. And as you exhale, letting go of anything at all that you're ready to let go of as you allow the head to gently bow. As you take this moment to bow to the source of energy that allows all of our hearts to beat, whatever you believe that to be. And now bowing to everyone else in this space who has listened and completed this practice right alongside you. And then finally bowing to yourself for choosing to show up today and taking the time out of your busy life for this pure act of self-love and self-care. And may this act continue to heal you through the rest of your days and nights. And may you bring the same love and understanding to everything you do and to everyone that you see. Thank you. Thank you, guys. That felt good for me. I hope that felt good for you. If you want to stay in this zone a little longer, you can feel free to float on out of here. I'm going to read through the chat right now. I did get to read Michelle, Samastar, Kayla, and Maria's comments before I started. So I hope that I addressed these things, like moving towards healthy behavior patterns and healing today. And please add prayer, protection, and meditation, and grieving. Dog, I'm so sorry. It's so hard. And difficult family situation like getting a divorce. I hope that, I know I didn't, specifically address these things, but I hope that the things I said were helpful in some way for those difficult situations. And I mentioned it in some past sessions. There's these podcasts I've been really loving, and they inform probably a lot of what I say, but I'm thinking in the difficult family situation and getting a divorce. There's this podcast called Where Should We Begin by Esther Perel, and it is amazing. It's couples counseling session basically, but there's some family episodes, like mother-daughter episodes, and it's just really interesting to get to hear all these different situations and perspectives. And then there's this book, there's similar names, so it's actually Your Brain on Love. Yes, and that it's a podcast, that first one, Where Should We Begin by Esther Perel. And she also has How's Work, that's Esther Perel, and that one is for people who work together. It's the same idea, couples counseling sessions, but like business partners or just people who work together. So Your Brain on Love is a book by Stan Tatkin, and it's honestly changed my life. I will read it hundreds of times in my life, I'm sure. It's about the neurobiology of love and just relationships and just a lot of ideas that you just don't hear super often in the, mainstream stuff. So I hope that stuff helps dealing with that stuff, because they do talk a lot about, grieving and divorce and separation and all of those things. So I hope that helps. Jonathan says, much support and strength to you, Maria. I experienced that 2 years ago after 20 years of marriage. May ease and resiliency be with you in this tumultuous time. Thank you for that, Jonathan. I'm sure that means a lot to Maria. It's a really difficult thing that a lot of people experience, and there are a lot of different ideas out there. And, it's just one of those things that's going to suck. It's going to be really hard, and, you make it through it. It will be over at some point, and you will, hopefully it was all for the best. And, maybe you're in a new season of life, and that can be an exciting thing. It's a scary thing, but it can also be very exciting, and the feelings will change a lot, I'm sure. I'm sure you'll be going through waves and waves of stuff. So Linda says, love that analogy. Awesome. I'm guessing you mean the rain one. There was another analogy that I tried to squeeze in there at the end, but it just felt too forced and I was going on too long already. But I learned this at my yoga teacher training, that the mind can be like a ski slope, and the thoughts that you travel down more often are going to have deeper grooves. So it'll be easier to travel down those paths, those thought paths. And meditation, or I think many different things could act as this, but meditation is like making it snow over the grooves. So they're still there, but there's a layer above the deep grooves. They get a little less deep, so you see more options. You can choose different paths when there's a little more snow over the grooves. And that's why I kind of change. I usually do the snow globe analogy at the end, and I say specks of glitter, and then I was saying little snowflakes, because I'm going to change that over time to include that in some way that works. All of the reframing, reframing, that's what's coming to mind, can act as snow over those grooves of our patterns, our reactions, and our thought paths that we go down. The snow can just leave space for that awareness to be do I want to go down that groove, that deep groove that I always go down? Sometimes maybe, yeah, you do. Other times, maybe you're no, I see another path and I'm going to choose that one today. So I like that one too. And I'll find a way to work that in the meditation in the future. Jenny says, good morning, Ruthie and everyone. Change is scary, but is actually good. Absolutely. We just bought a house and leaving one that we've been in for 25 years. Wow. Yeah, that's scary, but awesome. Congrats on that. It sounds really great. Dee, absolutely wonderful. Thank you. I've been in a storm chase. I have been storm chasing lately. I love that. So that was right on time. Sending support to all who are grieving a loss. Storm chasing, that I'm gonna incorporate that when I say that in the future. Like, we don't have to be storm chasers. I used to want to be a storm chaser when I was like in elementary school. I would watch like storm chasers. I'm like, I want to do that. I want to see a tornado. I just like storms. They're cool. Thank you, Lee and Kelly. I'm so glad to hear that. Thank you, Breeze and Kayla and Wolfgang. Thank you so much, Leslie and Kayla, for your donations. Thank you for any and all donations whenever they come through. They really are amazing and help support me and motivate me to do these lives. And Mike, if you're in here, I saw your donation on my off week, which really made me happy. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And yeah, let's see. Lee says, this was beautiful. Thank you for adding to your YouTube channel, and hope to listen again for sure. Yes, so this will all be on my YouTube channel. My YouTube, it has over 200 guided meditations at this point, and a bunch of videos in the Ruthie Rambles playlist, which is just, I think there's like over 40 videos there, which is just like hours and hours of me rambling about my thoughts on things, and a health history and updates playlist where I share all about my health history. I actually, just before I started this, I'm almost done editing the next talking video I'm going to post that is all about daily happies, like things that you can do throughout your day that will help you crack a smile or at least help you relax a bit. And I talk a lot about how a big part about having a happy life is letting yourself be sad. It's like, you know, a little paradox there, but like, I think having a happy, I explain it all, and it's like an hour-long video, so I won't go too much into it now, but yeah, that's coming soon. So you can subscribe to me on YouTube and do the notification thing, and you'll see when I post it. Thank you so much, Michelle. Thanks for being here, and I will see you Friday if you're still in here. And yes, thank you so much, Star Rich. Yeah, I'm a video editor, so I spend most of my days just like listening to podcasts and books, and I have a lot of gems. I'll share them over the years, but it's like was thinking about just adding a tab to my website of just like the things that I listen to and consume, because it's, you know, a huge part of how I am who I am. Thomas Star, thanks, Ruthie. I dozed off during your calming meditation. Awesome. And just woke up in time for the reading. Great. I'll re-listen to YouTube. Cool. Love the embracing change. It resonates so much. Yeah, that was a really great, it was perfect for what I was saying earlier in the meditation too. And love the wave metaphor. Don't fight it, go with it. Yeah, I thought of that when I was recording the video I'm about to post too. So you'll see like the first thing of that, because I've tried to face waves, and it literally does do that. You'll knock your head on the ocean floor. And the snow analogy too. Yes. Esther P is great for relationship issues. Yes, she's incredible. I love her so much. I just found a new podcast called Ricky and Jimmy on Relationships. They're funny. A lot of their interview episodes are great. They actually interviewed Stan Tatkin, and that is a great episode. Greg says, trying to accept the changes of life, including this crazy weather. Yeah, it's hard to get used to anything being predictable lately, which is jarring, I find. Yeah, it certainly is jarring. It's it's tough to feel like we have any sort of say in what's going on, but all we can really do is our best, the best we can with what we have, and focus on what is in our control. And it's hard to accept things that aren't in our control that are just horrible though. So it's like, it's tough. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm learning too. We're all dealing with just this crazy changing world that we're in, and it's tough. I'm sorry. I don't have much else to say. We can do it. I do think that each of us have our own unique talents and gifts and passions, and I think everyone has like their own thing. And I think if everyone can connect with that thing and do that thing, it can only help, like that can't hurt. So that's what I try to focus on. when I get too existential about everything. Dee says, come visit me in Oklahoma. That sounds, I've never been there. I worked in TV news with meteorologists for 13 years. I can hook you up. Wow, that's really cool. I used to want to be a meteorologist as well. I still like weather. Weather's weird now. I would love to know your, I have so many podcasts. I got to put together a list and I'll leave it in the chat one of these days. Anyway, thank you guys so much for listening. I appreciate you all so much. I think that's all I got for you. You can find me on anything just by searching my name. Thank you for listening. Thank you for joining. I hope you heard something that was helpful. And if you did, I hope you share that with whoever you feel like sharing it with. I'll be back here on Friday. So you can follow me here on Insight Timer and you'll see my live schedule and YouTube, I already said, and Instagram, all that stuff is all out there. Yeah. Okay. Thank you guys so much. Happy Tuesday. Have a great rest of your week and I will see you Friday. Okay. Bye.